at it. Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. How are you doing? Welcome down to a very hot and sweaty Dubai. The temperature this morning, 30 degrees. The humidity is at 100%. It's horrible. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to whiz through 2 holes because I want to talk you through my main tips to help you break 100. So we're going to be talking about shot selection, pre-shot routine, where you're going to aim, and also getting over some of the bad shots. So in particular, I feel like you can hit 1 or 2 bad shots per hole and still break 100 because it's about how good your bad shots are. I see a lot of golfers where they kind of thin it straight down the middle. That ball still goes around about 100 yards, 120 yards, depending on the swing speed. And if you're doing that, you're hitting the ball far enough, you're being efficient enough to then still potentially score how you want to score. Obviously, as you can imagine, the worst possible shot is a top shot or maybe a fresh air shot where the ball literally doesn't go anywhere, and that, okay, we're going to struggle to break 100 with. But let's talk through some of the shots. Let's whiz through the next 2 holes. Par 4 and a very long par 5, so hopefully that can give you enough information to help you on your way. Alright, first up is the driver, and the biggest head in the golf bag. I think if you can get used to using this is huge. I think the 3 most important clubs for you to be using: driver, hybrid, and be decent with the wedge. And by doing that, the hybrid can be effective off the second shots, and I feel like that's the hardest thing for most golfers, is getting good second shots. So a driver, we can genuinely manufacture it. Even if you hit a big slice, something out there between 150 and 200 yards off the tee is plenty. So my general shot at the moment is a little bit of a left to right, so I'm actually going to aim down the left rough, and if I do manage to pull it, then it's still a straight shot into the left rough. If I overcut it, I'm into the right rough, which is fine as well. If I hit the shot I'm trying to hit, happy days, it's still good. So I'm allowing for the bad shots as well as trying to hit my good. Oh, I've actually done the pull as well. Not amazing. It's then the left rough, but it's fine. That wasn't a great start. I wasn't lying when I said it was an awful tee shot. That's what we're faced with, so I managed to, thankfully, just avoid the bad stuff. But I'm going to have an awkward little stance. Not great lie. The ball's going to be sat into a bare lie, and I'm going to be going up and over the bunker. Now, in terms of course management, it gets a little bit tighter the more you go up towards that left-hand side. So we're just going to hit up towards these right trees here. If you get into that position, then we've got plenty of green to be working with. In worst case scenario, we make a 3-putt. If you get the ball onto the green in regulation and 3-putt, that's bogey golf. That's potentially shooting a score of 90, isn't it? So it's actually not the end of the world. I've got a decent lie, I've hit a poor tee shot, and that's one of the key things as well, because you can hit poor shots and get away with it. Right, I think this is the prime example of getting lucky. So actually 2 shots in a row, I've hit a big pull, because I was aiming to kind of hit the golf ball up here into this area, but I didn't. I hit a massive pull with a big divot, and I got very, very lucky. So I've actually got a birdie putt. Now, let's say, for example, that didn't happen. And maybe, for example, we've hit the ball over towards the right-hand side, like we said, but we missed the green still to the right-hand side. Try and putt from where you can, because a bad putt is better than a bad chip. So from this sort of angle, we think we've still got a chance of bogey. So making sure that the first putt, I've got a big ridge to get over. So I want to get on anything on the other side of that ridge is a decent outcome. Make sure you get a good enough strike, you hit it hard enough, you get it up and over the ridge, just short to the left side, still okay. I've got a decent chance of par, but I'm probably going to make bogey. I feel like this is easy for me to say, because obviously I'm a professional golfer. I can generally hit the shot how I want to hit it, but it's about how good the bad is. The majority of golfers on this hole would bail out towards the right hand side and be very quick to pull out that 60 degree. Just grab a putter, get the ball up in and around about a 10-foot radius, and get your 2-putt from inside a 10-foot. That's a 4-putt. Okay, bogey is in. And what is a relatively easy par 4, we've made it into quite an easy bogey. It's quite a difficult one in regards to the fact that some big bunkers in and around the green. So I see a lot of golfers, actually the guys behind me there look like they've kind of hit out towards the right hand side exactly where I just said. It's almost like they were watching the video. it's a good bailout place to go. Bunkers are scary. What's the point in going in a 10 to 20 foot bunker in this, obviously in this particular case? What's the point in getting yourself in all that danger? Bail out to the right. If you've got an 18 handicap or more, take a 3-putt from 50, 60 feet from the flag, 25 feet or so off the green. Get the first putt inside a 10 foot, 2-putt from there for a bogey. It sounds defeatist almost, but actually when you add that up over the course of 18 holes, you're going to shoot your best score. Alright, par 5. So now I feel like actually par 5 is the easiest way for most golfers to make up their score, because we're looking at about 450 to 500 yards. So you want to make a 6, no more than a 7 to we're trying to break up 100. So you want to try and make a 6, okay? Split that hole up. You could hit 4 120 yard shots, okay? And you're on the green and you can 2-putt for a bogey. Now that sounds stupidly easy, doesn't it? And it's not the case, because I know you've got to hit perfect shots to do that. But what you don't need to do, you don't need to hit perfect shots. With a driver, with a hybrid, you need to hit effective shots. You need to hit good enough shots to advance through the hole. And I think with these 2 clubs, if you can get through the first 300 yards, then from 150 yards, you've got 2 more shots to get the ball up onto the green. Try and split the hole up with the yardage. Oh, that was a nice shot. Little fade from left to right. Quite a long one actually, that's a really good hit, I'll be honest. That felt nice, I've enjoyed that. Alright, for higher handicappers, for golfers trying to break 100, this second shots are the most important thing. And we see so often golfers struggle with the strike off the fairway because they're trying to hit down on the golf ball, and we all know that golfers who try and hit down end up kind of really chopping you. So always look at the hybrid off the fairways as something you're just trying to sweep off the top. You're just trying to nudge the top of the ground ever so slightly, just trying to brush it. And if your bad shot from that becomes a slight thin, then you're going to be very effective, okay? One thing I would also say as well, speed. Golfers need to get more speed in general, because again, speed gets you out of trouble. If you hit a bad strike, speed will still manage to get the ball enough down the fairway to continue with the rest of the hole. A slow bad strike is not going to be as good as a fast bad strike. So first thing we're going to look at, ball position, just forward of centre, nothing too much towards that left hand side. I'm going to make sure we try and just brush the surface, just get used to hitting a couple of little practice swings there, just brushing the top of the surface. Try and get the same strike, brush the top of the surface, and even if you catch it a little bit thin, that ball's going to probably clear this bunker in front and just run. It's not going to be pretty, but it's going to be effective. Alright, so as you can see, hybrid's gone very, very well. I've hit 2 fantastic shots there, to be honest. I've hit some really, really good shots. And in the course of 18 holes, you're going to get that as well. You're going to hit some really nice shots, and it's important that we can kind of take advantage of it. So you're in a position now where, even though you're trying to break 100 overall, you're in a position of par. You've hit a really nice drive, you've hit a really nice second shot, and now you've got a short iron in. We've got 100 yards into the green. The quality of the wedge shot is important. I said that at the very start of the video. 3 of the most important clubs in the golf bag are going to be driver, hybrid and wedges, because when you get those 2 away and you've got the chance here now to hit the green and potentially 2-putt for par, it's going to put a really nice aggregate on a couple of bad holes that you may have later when you hit that really bad drive, or you maybe top that hybrid and you make an 8 or something on the next par 5. But if you've made a 5 on the one before, or even a 6, it's kind of weighed off quite nicely. You've got 14 shots over the 2 par 5s. You back to back double bogeys. Not the end of the world when you're trying to break 100. So we've got to capitalize on these particular holes. But what you will have noticed on the last shot, I didn't get overly technical. I didn't start saying, oh, you need to do this with the swing, this with the swing. You know what? Just get the ball position pretty good, get your distance from the ball right, get your fundamentals right, get the grip right, get the posture right, or get it into a nice enough position that it's going to be effective. And the most important thing with the strike of a hybrid, just brushing the surface. Brush, caress that surface, just nudge it. Okay. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to just try and feather in a soft 3/4 50 degree. Now 50 degree for me goes 120 yards, so I'm not now trying to smash under a 56, because I've seen it a lot of times when golfers use the hands too much, they hit too much power with a 56 or a pitching wedge or whatever club you use from a certain distance. So easy to mess up the strike. But also as well, once you're creating all that backspin, you're getting up the ball really, really airborne, you're going to struggle with your distance as well. So go and practice with the wedges 3/4 shots. Feel like the hands are doing a lot less, feel like the swing's doing a lot less. You're just still going to rotate the shoulders, you're going to rotate the hips, but your hands are going to be a lot less active. So just learn that little punch shot. Honestly, game changing. So from where I'd normally hit a 56 or 54, I'm just going to hit a 50. Just see how my hands stay a little bit more rigid on the swing. Just going to use my shoulders and my turn. Hold the finish. Got a nice strike, managed to stay down on the golf ball. What a bounce. Got a chance of birdie there now. But using the swing, using the tempo, getting a bit of width. Again, brush, oh that wasn't a brush, that was a dig. Brush the surface, okay? Use the tempo, use the width, brush the surface, be effective. Okay, so from 100 yards, that's a good wedge. I'm happy with that wedge. So I understand again that the wedge play is difficult, the accuracy is difficult. So if you feel like, okay, this is not a realistic outcome for the shots you might play, and you might end up on the very far left of the green, so what? It's still in a position where you could 2-putt, but you will probably 3-putt. And again, we want to eradicate 3-putts to make us better golfers. And I think eradicating all the 3-putts gets you below a 90s score. But we're trying to break 100 in this video. So if you are pinning around the green, if you're within about 10 yards of the front edge of the green, you've got the opportunity to putt it, or to again get a wedge shot out. Or if you're miles away from the flag but on the green, 3-putt's only going to leave you with a bogey. It's still a decent outcome overall. And yeah, okay, we can hit some. I've hit some nice shots in there, so I've got to capitalise on that. But there's going to be times when you hit some bad shots. You hit a thin, you hit a top. Just got to make sure that I always think if you have one really good shot in the hole, you're going to rescue yourself. Let's get hard. That's it. That's it. Okay, so as you can probably see from my putting, the most important thing is pace, okay? We want to get an approximate line. You know the ball's going to go from right to left off that break, as you can see the slope. Then it's all about pace. Don't even worry about lining up that much. But when you're getting yourself inside of 4 feet, this is where I want to take a little bit more care. Little left to righter. I've lined my righting up to where I want to hit the golf ball to. You've seen the previous video, really be obsessed with that line. And that way then, you've got a good chance of converting the next putt. Guys, that's the end of today's video. It is so hot, 100% humidity this morning, and it's time to go in, shower and start coaching. Yeah, I'm just coaching. I've got 8 sessions in over the next 10 hours, so I'm gonna have to deal with this for the rest of the day. Guys, thanks very much for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel as always, and I'll see you again in the next video.